Hey, good evening. Let's see. How do I do this? I want to invite somebody in here. Okay. 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 Good evening. This is your man, James Gordon. And I got asked to do something today that was pretty cool by my friend, Valerie. She said, why don't you take a picture? Excuse me one second. Why don't you take a picture with all the books you've written? And so I said, oh, that's kind of cool. But then I said, let me do a video and give you an explanation of what the books and what they mean and what have you. And so I figured I'd do that. You have to understand, I've always written under the, what's up, Jesse? Hey, Toby. Hey, John. I've always written under the moniker Greatest Poet Alive. So these are very collective books, poetry, and I'll go through them. So here we go. This is my very first book. It's called The Confessional Heart of a Man. I wrote it in 28 days. It's sort of like Get Rich or Die Trying. That's it. It's sort of like Get Rich or Die Trying because it's just raw. There aren't any chapters. There aren't any page numbers. There's no particular order to it. It's just poems. The poems aren't even aligned because it was my first book. I just went at it. So it's just rough. I mean, it's some of everything. It's about being bullied. It's about it's love in there. It's having dealt with my daughter's mother sometime a bit. About being locked up. It's about some of everything. Things I saw, things I experienced. Some of everything. It's Confessional Heart of a Man. And I sat there and thought about it. And I picked the colors because I went to Lindblom. And our school colors are maroon and gold. So from there, I said, I want to try something different. And so I went, and I never liked erotic poetry. I'm not a fan of erotic poetry. I write what I like to think is sensual, and it borders on sexual, but not erotic. So I wrote this book, The Book of 24 Orgasms. Now, hold on one second. Bear with me. I've been battling a little bit of cold, so bear with me. I wrote the book of 24 Orgasms, and I said, wow, imagine a book of poems. Each poem is an orgasm. There are 24 hours in a day, the book of 24 orgasms. And this particular cover, I've never had a publisher like per se. Real quick, this book went through iUniverse. I don't suggest that, but it was good because I didn't know, and it was a good starting point. And they got the book out and was able to get my book out. And so that helped my dream as an author get started. But you learn as you go along. I went through waiting for the bus and was trying to get this cover right. And so the cover actually unfolds into a woman. And there's another version of it that has a glossy cover, but this is kind of cool. Because waiting for the bus, Jack Page Press is sort of a homegrown graphic publisher. And they aren't used to publishing. I've sold the most books on their label. On their not label, but under their moniker, no one sold more books to me under them. So then I went from there, and I went through some things. I got out of a relationship that wasn't the greatest for me, and then I had people. How's that? Is that better? Maybe I had my hand on the thing. Okay, good. I might have had my hand on the thing. I don't know, but so I wanted to prove. A lady had said all I could do was write poems about trying to get laid. I've never really had a problem doing that. So I wanted to prove something. So I wrote this book called The Mind of a Poetic Unsub. And this book has some of everything. It talks about some of everything. And it has different styles, cinquains, haikus, serious poems, lust poems, and it was broken up into different categories in the book. First effort that I ever did like that, and it was sort of a comeback effort for me. And as you can see, look at the cover. It said all the things that it was about and talked about. I talked about all the things that I sort of went through or what have you. So that was that book. And then I said, you know what? Let's blow them away. So I came up with this. Revenge of the Orgasm. Before Amazon started taking away reviews, I had over 200 reviews on that. I have 155-star reviews. Funny story, a poet and I exchanged books for review, and she gave it 1 star. You see a 1 star on there? She did it. I couldn't understand why. She did it. Like, if you did, you know what I mean? She did it. So, but Revenge of the Orgasm, the content, people always say, oh my God, why is it revenge? And I said, well, it's not revenge like I'm going to get you, but the orgasms, think about when you've had a great sexual experience with somebody. It may be the current person you're with, may have been somebody else, and it creeps up on you. It comes back and tells you about it. You could be in the elevator, you could be driving, and you feel that. Everybody's had that. Everybody's had that experience where they come back, like, ooh, I remember that. So, that was that. But then I went to here, and I made I thought of the R. Kelly cover, and I know that, and this is sort of before the mess, and I won an award for that. I won the gold star for this, and I added like 6 more poems in this Revenge of the Orgasm, the Soaking Wet edition. Okay, so then my buddy Dave Ziegler, let's see if I can get him in here. Give me a second. Let's see. Give me a second. Okay. Okay, my buddy Dave. That was my first foray into children's books, and I won. I'm children's author of the year twice for this, and this was the follow-up. I did something Bobo and Tudor. Everybody knows a certain Beagle, and I are very close, and so I put him in the book, and I put him in the next stage of Bobo, and this takes place as Bobo is leaving 5th grade. He's leaving 5th grade. And he's going to 6th, but there's the summer. This is the summer before he goes to 6th grade. He goes to summer camp. He encounters bullying. He goes, he meets the girl, and it's a series. Okay, so those are the children's books, and I got that coming. So then, I had never written a novel, and something said, you gotta try it. So, I tried it, and this is the result. It's called Warmest Winter. Now, some of you say, hey, did you get that? I did. There was the coldest winter ever, and I took the warmest winter. And the reason I took it is it's based in Chicago. I got this log cabin like that. I just like the way it looks, and so I used it. And then, based in Chicago, it's a murder mystery. Got some pretty decent reviews on some of it. It's possible, of course, but a lot of people say the movie's really quick, and so that's kind of cool. But I did something along the book. So I wrote that book And I also wrote a book of poetry using some of the characters from that book. So this is The Warmest Winter, the poetry collection. So I just sort of made an alternate universe to go along with it. Okay. Here. So, as it always is in my life, it seems I met a woman. And I thought she was pretty dope. And then I found out, she was married. And then, so that just sort of put a kibosh on that. I should have kept that lesson going forward. But anyways. I came up with Angelica's Box. And this is Angelica's Box. And I won the reader's favorite gold medal for poetry, love poetry, some romance poetry, whatever that is, for Angelica's Box. And Angelica's Box was basically poems about women I met, women I have never met, women I thought of, women, whatever. And it's an ode to women. And so I had to have a sequel, Angelica's Box, The Evolve. And it was basically what that says. It evolved. So I took poems from there and took them somewhere else. They had more narrative to them. They were a bit edgier. And so you got those two. Where are we at? Okay. So one of the books is missing. So again, it was a woman. And I came up with, there was a song. And the guy said, Chris Brown said, I have a thing for you, baby. And I said, ooh, I like that. And I came up with The Gangster Love. It's from Willie D, the Ghetto Boys. They had The Gangster Love. And so I took that moniker and added it. And I came up with the Have a Thing for You. So it was a Have a Thing for You. And it was no longer Have a Thing for You. That was actually third. They still Have a Thing for You. And the one that's missing is Always Have a Thing for You. So it was like a series. And it went through all the phases of a relationship. Meeting, it's intense, it's fun, and so on and so forth. Still good. Then there's a breakup. And this was actually Art Imitated Life. Because I went through that with this particular woman. And then it was Always Have a Thing for You. And I always will. Okay. We're almost done. What book is missing? Okay. So, because I like writing centrally, I wrote this book. Return of the Orgasm. And it's pretty intense. They went along with the whole orgasm lineup or what have you. But it's pretty intense. Pretty good reviews on it. And I just wanted to bring it back. And this is a combination of intimate poems, sexual poems, and narrative poems. And it's explosive. It's explosive. There's even a poem in there called Sheba and Lola. And neither one of the women talk to me anymore. They were named after two women. There are poems in there, Lola and Sheba, and they're after two women. That's bad. That's just bad, champ. Okay, let's wind it up. And then the last book I've written is this one, Beloved. I met a woman, and in my head, she was everything. In my head, she was everything. In my heart, she was everything. And so I wrote about the time we spent together in this book. All the good, all the not so good, everything in this book. And someone will say that it was about them. It wasn't. It was about her. Just her. So, and it felt good to write. I did the cover. It kept it real simple. And it was just a love story, an ode to this woman. And what does this say on the inside? I don't know. I just went straight in. I think I went straight in. A lot of times, like most people, they do all the, I think I went straight in. I think I did. Bear with me. And sometimes I don't read the... Here it is. It said, "Beloved, these poems I have written that you see here and the ones that will come after are all about you. My words are representatives of the actions I pray you to each time I have the opportunity. My heart has been cleaved by tones of the soul, the wild horses that you feel in front of me. I am the love zone who walks with those smiling eyes, sipping the steam and full of unequivocal grief. You are responsible for all. My grace of God and you can be my peace. The only other way I can repay you is to be just when I can, because I am the following the day is only true. That's all." So yeah, and life, it doesn't always go like we want it to go, but those are the books. They're all available at Amazon.com on both Kindle and paperback. I think the series, though, isn't available on Kindle. I think that's just paperback. And I encourage you to go pick them up and grab them. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Tell a friend. And have a good evening. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.